Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Chad here. Today's video is going to be really an announcement video. It's been about 2 months since I've published any type of content, but there's been a reason for that. So if you can't tell by the title of this video, I have planned on going after the CCIE. So if you followed my last video, you'll know that I passed the NRC exam a few months ago, and in that video I kind of contemplated what I was going to be doing as a follow-up, whether that was going to be going after the NSLED exam or possibly be going for the CCIE. After I consulted a few people on this matter, I really tossed around the idea of going for the CCIE, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. However, I do plan on taking a few exits, if you will, during the process of studying for the IE and picking up some lower level certifications that I believe will help me pass the CCIE lab. So I'm going to include along this journey a little bit of content. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to make these types of videos, but I do plan on at least sitting down with the camera and discussing my thought process on the IE, my preparation, resources, and how things are going. So if that's something you guys are interested in, that's probably going to be at least a monthly follow-up unless that gains a lot of traction. In those videos I would probably sit down and either do some types of labs or go over the resources that I'm using to prepare for the exam. I passed the core exam for the CCIE last year, and I passed the NRC exam this year, so I'm still fresh off of those exams, but I did want to take a few exits and a few pit stops along the way. Next thing I'm going to actually focus on is actually going to be the DevNet Associate. So I've been reading a lot of the CCIE recommended material as far as the books, and I have a complete bookshelf filled with books that are on the reading list. I'll put a picture somewhere on the screen of what my bookshelf looks like. If you follow me on Twitter, I actually posted this on there as well as on Instagram first a few weeks ago, and really there's a lot of content for the CCIE, specifically reading material that is recommended. So I've been purchasing a lot of those, and I've been making my way through some of those books, but network automation is something that has been very important to me. It's something coming from a development background, it's been something that's always been really cool to me, of bridging the gap between software engineering and network engineering. So the DevNet Associate is actually going to be the exam that I'm going for as an interim exam, and I'm going to start preparing for that exam next month. But I do plan on posting some more network automation content pretty soon, specifically with AWX and Rundeck. So if you're not familiar with what AWX or Rundeck is, that series that I'm probably going to work on for those is going to be a tremendous help. They both accomplish very similar tasks. Rundeck allows you to actually do a little bit more customization with ad hoc commands on certain servers, where AWX is more geared towards just Ansible playbooks. But either way, I think that series is going to be very cool for you guys, especially for those that are newer to network automation, and that is the reason I'm going to go for the DevNet Associate, to kind of bridge the gap. So I've kind of reviewed a little bit of the material for the DevNet Associate, and a lot of the stuff I'm pretty familiar with, specifically the Python, the API, the JSON, and stuff like that. But there are a few things in there that I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more on, specifically netconf and Yang and stuff like that. Now, again, this is kind of going to be the first pit stop on the CCIE, so my next video that I post as a follow-up to this one will probably be the resources I'm going to use to pass the DevNet Associate, as well as when I actually am going to schedule the DevNet Associate and when I'm going to take the DevNet Associate, and then of course the results of that. So that'll probably be a video coming up. I plan on taking roughly 3 months to take and pass the DevNet Associate, so be on the lookout for that video. Again, it's probably going to be roughly 3 months for that. Once I knock the DevNet Associate exam out, who knows, maybe I will follow up and do the design exam that I was going to prepare for. I've read that book, the OCG, for that at least 2.5 times already, so I'm pretty familiar with a lot of topics for the exam, although I don't feel like the book, after reading it, was probably enough to take and pass the exam. I certainly believe it will help me, so maybe I'll do that after the DevNet Associate. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. As far as the content for the CCIE, my plan is pretty simple. I'm going to start off reading through a lot of the material, because there are a tremendous amount of books that you have to make your way through. So I'm going to start off reading through some of those. while pairing up supplemental videos and things on some of the topics. And then I'm going to start doing some deep dives into the protocols, and of course labbing a ton more so than I did for the CCNP and the CCNA. Obviously the lab portion is the last thing that I need to do, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing a lot of deep dive on theory, but also configuring and making sure I understand the inner working. But my plan is to document the entire process. So if it takes me 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I plan on at least trying to make a video once a month following up with you guys and helping you keep me accountable and keep this goal going, because I do believe the CCIE is still relevant. I believe the CCIE still holds more weight than any other certificate that you could get in the industry of network engineering. The track I'm obviously going for is going to be the Enterprise, and so I'm really excited about it, and I do want to accomplish this sometime within the next few years. So that's pretty much sums everything up for this video. If you guys have any questions or concerns, as always, feel free to reach out to me in the comments section, on social media, or anywhere you can find me. I'm always happy to help and hopefully guide you guys in the right direction. I really appreciate all of you for liking, subscribing, and interacting with me. I recently hit 600 subscribers. I'm really excited about that, and I plan on making some great content for those that are new to the channel, so please consider subscribing. I usually don't ask for that. That's something that I've kind of prioritized for myself. I know that a lot of YouTubers will preach subscribe, click, and all this stuff. So this may be the first and the only time you guys ask or hear me ask for you to subscribe. So thank you guys so much for doing so. Again, please reach out to me in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.